What's going on, guys? It's Joe Metlow with Next Level Auto Detail, and in this video we're not going to be working on this. We're actually going to be doing a mobile job. It is a C5 Corvette. I do think it's been resprayed because the paint is in really bad condition, and usually when a car is that scratched and that swirled, that usually tells me with my experience that the paint is super duper soft. So usually Corvette clear coats are on the harder side of the spectrum, but something tells me that this car has been resprayed and it's black. So we are going to be performing a one-step or an all-in-one polish. It's more paint enhancement than paint correction, but I do know we are going to get somewhere between 40 to 70% of defect removal with the combination that we're going to be using. So I'm going to start loading up the van with all of our stuff that we need. So let's get started. Okay, as you guys know, I have a shop. I have a fixed location, but I do offer mobile jobs. Now, the challenging thing about guys that are not 100% mobile all the time is the fact that we have to load the stuff, and 9 times out of 10 you are going to forget something that you need. So what I usually like to do is the night before is write out a list and go through the list just to make sure you have everything. Now, like I said, it's very common. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget something now. The thing is, you just want to make sure that you have the really important stuff, or the product that you need to address the problem that the customer or the client is really concerned about. Right now we have our bag. I'm gonna load up my machines, and you always forget stuff like masking tape or a certain towel, or just whatever it is. You're always going to forget something. Murphy's Law. So we're gonna load up our machines, and working in a fixed location, it's you know, you have everything. So sometimes the stuff that you think you don't need, and then when you're at the job you realize that, hey, I actually needed that, you know, crap, you know. So sometimes you have to bring a lot of stuff that you don't think you're gonna need, but you actually do need it. I always bring different machines, different pads. Whatever you think is going to work, it might not work. I've done mobile jobs in the past where I brought all my great machines. My older videos, I've recorded it on my cell phone, and it was a Porsche black paint, really super soft. Everything, even a mid-grade polish, was leaving the micro marring behind, and it didn't like any long throw, forced rotation. I had to use the Porter cable, and if I didn't bring my Porter cable, I wouldn't have been able to complete the job, because the paint was sticky as well. So sticky paint doesn't like heat, so obviously the Porter cable was the proper choice because it doesn't create a lot of heat and only has an 8mm throw. So again, if I didn't bring that Porter cable, I wouldn't have been able to do the job. I would have to go back to the shop and went all the way back, a pretty decent haul for my shop in Chicago. So you always got to bring stuff that you don't even think that you'll need, just in case. So obviously going to bring the Porter cable with a 3-inch plate, a 3401. Now, most of the time this is kind of overkill, but again, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So we got that. My flex extension cord. This is an awesome bag, by the way. I'll leave a link in the description below. I've been using this for over a year, and I beat the crap out of these bags, and I mean, it still looks pretty good. It's a really heavy duty bag. I could fit 4, 5, 6 machines in here and the bag's not gonna rip. Has pockets. I love it. You could fit some polishes in here. So I think we're gonna leave the XFE home at the shop here. Well, this is my home basically, so I should call it that. I'm gonna bring a wax remover, this brush, just in case. He's an older gentleman. He probably hit some trim. And yeah, so now the whole challenging thing is having a tote to bring all your chemicals, just to make sure that you have everything that you need. So I'm gonna go over my list and start loading up the van. So let's do that. Let's go. Okay, we have arrived at the job, obviously. I rinseless washed it with the McKees 37 N914. This is the ideal rinseless wash to use before you do any kind of polishing or paint correction, because it leaves nothing behind. No polymers, no waxes, no sealants, gloss enhancers. So right now, it's actually a beautiful day here. Well, bad for Floridians, but it's about, I don't know, 65 degrees. There's no sun, which is a rare sight for here in Florida. The car, I just did a rinseless wash on the entire car. Now we're doing a clay bar process. The owner takes pretty good care of it. He actually has clay bar and a lot of good chemicals that he showed me that he uses, and I'm not really picking up much. I would say the bottom parts have road contaminants, so we're gonna save that for the end, obviously, so we don't scratch up the car. I didn't record the rinseless wash process to not bore you guys. There'll be plenty of videos on that subject alone, so I'm going to clay bar the whole car. Like I said, I'm not really picking up much. And we are going to be using 360 all-in-one. So once the whole car is decontaminated, I'll bring you guys back in and do some test spots and decide what pad we're gonna go with. So, see you guys shortly. Okay, car's coming out nice. We're increasing the clarity drastically. It's getting a lot darker, deeper, richer, so it kind of looks gray, slightly oxidized. So this is what the car needed. I'm using the 3401 with 360 and just a white polishing pad. I'm gonna go around the car. It's coming out nice. The owner is happy with the results already, and we should be done in no time. Now there's some stickers on here and they feel a little dry. 360 could actually clean, enhance, and add some gloss back to the faded stickers. So I'm using Speed 5. See areas like this is where the 3401 thrives at. If the car just has big open panels, the long throw is going to be the winner of that battle. But when you have little contours and caves like this and going and constantly having to switch machines, you could just get it done faster with one. And that's what this, that's why the 3401 thrives at. That's where it has its advantage. And I always ask people, you know, and realize that the Rupes is a system, and the Boss machines is a system as well, and you got to have numerous amount of machines. The 3401, buy it. You could literally do bumpers, hard to reach areas because it does not stall. But where the long throws excel at is that 21 and 15 millimeter orbit. That's almost 3 times the size of this 3401. So it's really going out there and removing defects for you. So I'm just gonna work it in. Now, as far as defect removal goes, we're getting about 40 to 50% defect removal with this simple, fast process. I am applying a substantial amount of pressure, about 10 to 11 pounds. However, that's not the overall goal for this. We just want to increase clarity, and whatever defects we remove. So the owner's happy with the results. We don't have a lot of time. We're not going to be spending 8 hours, 12 hours. I washed it in about 30 minutes, clayed it, even though I didn't have to because 360 has cleaners. However, I did want to save on my pad. I'm probably going to have maybe about 2.5 hours in buffing time on this car, and it's going to look good, and the owner is already happy with the areas that we have already tested. So we're going to take the towel. It's really a beautiful day, and you could instantly see the clarity. Hopefully the camera's picking it up.
Now, with these all-in-one jobs, I have an article on this that the inspection light is not your friend. It is not your friend in situations like this, because you are going to shine the light on the surface and you are not going to like what you see. You know, we know about scratches and swirl marks, and we're OCD and you want to get it perfect. So you're going to do another pass, and now that 2-hour job becomes 7-hour jobs. And I always hear detailers complain about how their all-in-one jobs aren't profitable. Well, these are the most profitable jobs. You just have to discipline yourself and know when to stop. So I'm completely happy with that. I'll peel this side up. I still have to get in there, but we'll peel the tape off and we'll come back on that side, and yeah, you could just see the enhancement in clarity. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I could tell with my eye. It's hard to see on the screen here as well. Let's get you guys off the tripod. It's hard to see, especially with a cloudy day. A cloudy day, even a beat up car looks pretty good. I have an article about that, by the way. I will post that description below for the detailed image Ask a Pro blog, about how a cloudy day makes a car look good. So we are improving the clarity. It looks good. This feels dry. We even clayed it, but there's still some left, and it looks good. So I'm gonna be swapping pads. When you're using a polishing pad with an all-in-one or a polish shoot, and you kind of want to remove as much defects as possible in the short time frame that we have, you always want to swap through these, because these are going to lose their cut and get softer a lot faster than a cutting pad. So you always want to swap through those. So I'm going to finish this door. I'll bring you guys back in if anything new pops up. But like I said, we're only going to be here for about 2.5 or 3 hours. So I already did this front area. That's going to be done, the back, the bumper. So we'll be out of here in no time. So I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, another area that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention is this little vented area here with a long throw, 15mm, 12mm, even a Rupes Mini that has a 12mm throw. Those machines are great, but even with the Rupes Mini with a 12mm throw with a 3-inch pad, this isn't an ideal spot, being that it's not going to be able to get a sharp edge in these tight areas. So this has an 8mm throw, so that's actually a lot smaller. So we're going to have a more of a laser cut and a concentrated area to get a sharper line in these hard to reach areas. So it's not going to stop spinning. So I can hit this. Manipulate the machine. I don't have to worry about pad stall. Now if you are going to be polishing the stickers, you always want to do that at the end, because you are going to be picking up a residue off the stickers. So I don't want to take this pad to paint now because I just hit the stickers because I plan on swapping pads on once we get to the next panel. So I'm gonna hit the sticker. And now I'm done with that pad. So just like that. Look at that, looks good. Stickers look good. Now I'm gonna move on to my next section. But yeah, look at that. Yeah, looks good. Shiny.
I bet you do this in your sleep.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. When I'm not buffing, I think about buffing. Oh, a lot better. There was some deep water marks you had over here. I guess from the top when you put it back.
Yeah.
Big difference in clarity. Looking good, Steve, looking good. Okay, we are all wrapped up with the C5. Looks great. We increased the clarity. Looks really wet. Owner's very happy. Shiny, shiny. The son has been playing cat and mouse, hide and seek all day. We did remove at least more than half of the scratches and swirl marks. The car looks great. Deeper defects remain, but this is a 1998 with 150,000 miles, and the car looks fantastic. Even if I was to spend 15 hours polishing this car, I would only be able to squeeze about 15% more correction out of it. So for the time, effort that we put into this car looks fantastic, and it is a win. So, okay, that wraps up the video, guys. I'm gonna go back to the Trademark Garage, go home. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks again.